So fourth month update. So it is the end of November, and so my classes are about to finish this weekend, and so kind of on the about to be at the end of the first full term. So two or three terms, or one of the first of three terms, I should say, and so about to kind of be done with the first part, which is weird. But just some of the updates that have been going on is beginning of the month I took a SQL workshop, which I think is super interesting. Or people say SQL. I really like that workshop. I was able to learn a little more about databases. It was like a 6-hour workshop, so I was kind of there for most of the day, which was an interesting experience to do that all day. But being able to walk out of that with a little bit more of an understanding of SQL is really cool. And so for this one, with that just kind of saying that first, I made a list because I wanted to make sure I covered everything that I wanted to talk about and didn't forget anything and had to include later, or include as like a little blurb to the side. So that's kind of like one of the first things beginning of the month. Another one was, so my classes this semester were strategy, marketing, decision and risk analysis, and personal and professional growth. And so the classes were, in my opinion, a little more enjoyable than they were last semester. Not that the ones last semester weren't as interesting, but it's just the difficulty for a non-business major was a lot lower as opposed to the first semester of financial accounting and finance and economics. It was a little bit more difficult coming from a non-business background. But I really, really like these classes this round. Strategy, I think, was probably one of my favorite classes I've ever taken. I really loved going through cases and just understanding how to approach a business in a way, from a case, and determining what's the best strategy for a business to do. And so we ended up doing different cases like Samsung dealing with Chinese manufacturers in I think 2005. We had Ryanair versus EasyJet, which are two European airlines companies. We had Pepsi versus Cola. We had the analysis of the UK petroleum industry. And then we also had Tata Motors, which is an Indian automobile company that tried to make the cheapest car to ever existed. And so it was so interesting to kind of analyze the strategy like that. And from my experience in that class, I have been now seriously looking at business analyst positions in addition to product management positions, just because I really enjoy that aspect of business and being able to use some data and use some past thoughts and analyzing the current situation in order to give the best strategy for a business to move. So that's kind of the class update, what I've been doing in classes. In addition, just doing some other really cool things, such as so the study group. So my study group and I, we ended up going to a Chinese hot pot restaurant, which was really cool. Never been to. I don't think I've ever been to a hot pot restaurant. And some of us had problem finding it because everything was in Chinese and we couldn't tell what the name of the restaurant was. But we ended up getting in and just food, dish after dish, because we had an unlimited buffet order. And so we just kept on making hot pot, and it was really good. And so the two Chinese girls in our study group were okay, order for us, we don't know what we want, just make sure it's good. And it was really good, and now I really am a big fan of hot pot. And so along with that, there was a soccer tournament, or a football tournament, as the Europeans watching will probably correct me on, a couple weeks ago. And so it was stream versus stream. And so the MEM class, the Master's Management class, is split up into 3 different streams of 80 some people. And then the MBA class and Master's in Financial Analysis and other programs are also split up into different 80-person, 100-person sections, are called streams. And so there was a tournament where streams were facing against each other. And so my stream was Stream B. And so the Master's in Management Stream B was our team. And so it was us and it ended up being a weekend that conflicted with like women's touch rugby, so we really had no women on our team. So we had to have a girl from the PhD join us, and then one of the organizers who's in our streams, one of his friends who was like basically a professional football player, was playing for us too, and we ended up doing really good. Ended up losing in overtime in the finals. And so after we won our pool and we faced other people who had won their pool, ended up playing like more center back. It was seven aside, I believe, but it was super fun just getting to be out there all day and just play with friends and take a sport seriously for the first time in a while, and just have a lot of fun doing it. So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed just the people I played with as well, getting to know them better. And then along with that is the gaming side. Is the new Pokemon game came out, which is like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And so I got that on release day, and I've been playing it, not as much as I'd really like to, because I've been trying to focus a little more on school towards these end, and I've been distracted with other things such as being with people or watching shows, and so I've been a little bit distracted with that. But it's been really good. It's a really good remake. I would, if anyone plays, I would strongly recommend it. But the main reason I like it is that it's integrated with Pokemon Go, and so it's like a way for it to get the casual audience into the Pokemon genre, to the Pokemon IP. So it's really, really interesting and different from every single Pokemon game before, despite being a remake of the originals, which I really enjoy. And so since it's integrated with Pokemon Go, it's important for me to understand it and to analyze it. And also have fun playing it, so that when I eventually start the internship with Niantic, I can, just better understand the range of products and different integrations that they have. And so I've really been loving that. In addition, also the sun goes down at like 3:55 around, like 4, like it gets dark so freaking early that it's ridiculous. I hate it. There's barely any sunlight during the day. But moving on, I got a crock pot the other week, and so I really decided, I want to get a slow cooker so I can try to cook some things during the day when I'm at school. And I was thinking, I don't want to spend more than 30 pounds on whatever I buy. And so I went to a local shop, ended up getting one for 13 pounds, which is a lot less than I expected, and it's really nice. So I ended up making, I think the first dish, I made a barbecue chicken, and so I just put a bunch of sauce and some other ingredients in the pot, threw some just chicken breast in there, like 3 pounds, and then waited a couple hours, came back, and had perfectly cooked barbecue chicken. And I shredded it up and I mixed it in the sauce, and it was really good. So been enjoying that, trying to find more recipes that I can make during the day that are super easy. But been loving having a crock pot after my mom has cooked so many dishes in it over time. And then with Thanksgiving. And so Thanksgiving is obviously not a European thing at all. It is probably one of the most American things I can imagine. And so ended up with 2 other Americans, and then with one of our friends who's from England, ended up cooking a really big Thanksgiving dinner for like 30 people. So I ended up making mashed potatoes, stuffing, macaroni and cheese, and then helped with other dishes like Brussels sprouts, and trying to think what else we made specifically. Don't really remember, but then couldn't find a turkey anywhere. Looked and we called, and we couldn't get a turkey either delivered on time, or it was so expensive it was ridiculous. Like 50 pounds, which is like at least over $60, which is just so much for a freaking turkey. So ended up getting chickens instead, and ended up making beer can chicken. So basically it's like when you rub it with like different dry ingredients, and then stick, for lack of better term, sticking a beer can up his butt and putting it in the oven. and cooking it. And so as it cooks, the beer will evaporate, and turn into gas, and will keep the inside of the chicken moist, keep the chicken moist itself, while also giving it some flavor. And so it actually turned out really good. So ended up having around 30 people, and we asked them to bring food too. So we ended up having like a giant feast of food from different cultures and from just different countries, and it was so cool. Just having a bunch of different food and celebrating it with a bunch of people that we're close with, and just having that, it was really cool. Just kind of showing something that was really American, and showing that, hey, this is what we celebrate. To be like thankful for what we've gotten over the year, and just being appreciative of friends and family, and just what we've been blessed to receive. And then there was, I think, the week after that. So I'm friends with some Danish people, and so they ended up having some people over at one of our English friends' houses for like Danish Christmas, and so they made a bunch of these Danish dishes that were so good. Like they made pork, and they made duck, and they made like red cabbage. I forgot the dish, like what exactly it's called, but something with red cabbage, and just potatoes, and it was just so good. And so we ended up having a really good dinner, played some like charade type of games, and then had a nice night. And so that was just kind of, it was just really cool. Again, kind of being invited into a different culture and kind of seeing how they do it, as opposed to how we do it back in the States. And it was just such a really just awesome experience being able to just see a different culture. And I did like a little, I was really happy. I did like a little like origami Christmas star, because I bet you can't do that. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it. And so I ended up making this really cool star, and just having that, just kind of take a picture of it, being proud of it. But yeah, I think that's everything that I had down, everything that I really wanted to talk about. It's the years going by so fast. Just from the beginning when I came here in July till now, it's been kind of a whirlwind of just classes and activities and events and trips. Well, not as much trips, but more so next year. But it's beginning to the point where people have like all applied, and kind of the first round of job acceptances are starting to roll in for a lot of people, which is really great. People are getting amazing jobs, but I think it also has the negative effect of putting pressure on other people, and so other people are feeling a little bit uneasy about them not receiving a job offer yet. So that's kind of is a little not upsetting, but kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of bad for some people who are feeling this pressure, when it'll probably all work out in the end. And in my case is I haven't even started applying, because pretty much all the job openings don't really open up till later. So I've just been kind of sitting back and not doing a whole lot in that aspect. But while not actively applying, I've been trying to keep up my preparations, like reading and coding, and doing different things to prepare for the interview and prepare for the future job, and trying to learn new skills, such as like the SQL workshop. But I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to starting this internship and working on a project with a really cool company. But with that being said, next year is kind of when the whole process will begin, and I'll just be trying to go super hard on applying to all these different places and careers, so I can have options to pick the one that I think I will fit in well. But yeah, that's I think that's all I really want to talk about. Next month, so December I'm going to be trying to travel a little bit. I know I said in my last video I would maybe be going to Spain. That didn't happen. But I really want to try to explore London more, because I haven't really been a tourist in the city that I've been living in for like 4 months. I've been more so focusing on school and work and different things like that. So I really want to go to like visit Big Ben and visit, you know, the Tower of London and Buckingham Palace and those type of places, since I haven't been yet. And then also trying to go to some places in England if I can, and visit Paris. I really want to go visit Paris since I haven't been yet. And then trying to figure out where else. Maybe go to Sweden to go visit a friend. That might happen. Again, might. I'm not 100% sure on that. I have to figure out the plan. But then also just spend time with some of the English friends I've made and experience, I don't know, more of a relaxed environment of England without having to do school 24/7. But yeah, so hopefully next video I'll have some really cool updates about the different travels I've been on, but we'll see. All right, bye.